And rising, beautiful, beautiful friends. Okay, so we've got quite the chaotic energy turning about, and it's going to get fun. It's going to get wild. It's going to be interesting. It is about embracing the chaos. That's right. We got to embrace the chaos. So when you're sitting there making plans, writing everything down, like you're just writing down what may not work out in all actuality, because it's eclipse season. It's an eclipse. We're starting with a solar eclipse, a hybrid eclipse, which is the rarest of the eclipses, and then going into Mercury retrograde. The sun is squaring Pluto. I mean, we just chaos. It's straight chaos. So if we set the astrology aside, because there's tons of good astrologers out there that you can listen to and get the actual, professional opinion on that. However, with energies, this all going on astrologically, and then you add in all the solar flares that we've been getting, right? We get a crazy little bit of weather here in Colorado. I was wearing shorts yesterday, and I have my winter coat out again today, but that is Colorado. But the central states are going through some crazy wind. We had wind yesterday. I swore the trees were going to come down. And it gets windy here, but it was windy, like super windy. It's just been crazy. It's been chaotic. And I've been dealing with shit, literally. My pipes broke that go from my house to my septic tank. And so that's going to be, who can afford that shit? Literally, who can afford shit? I'm paying for shit. I'm paying for shit to go from point A to point B. Oh my God. So that's fun. And yeah, if it sounds familiar, yes, I just went through this problem 2 weeks ago. So that's fun. But it's okay. It's okay, because that's my point. And the only reason why I'm sharing that information is because the point is laughing it off, is haha, like making jokes of it, cracking mom jokes, dad jokes, whatever you want to call me, person jokes, cracking person jokes about haha, that shit is expensive. Haha, get it? It's the septic tank. I know, cheesy, right? But my point is that's how we're going to get through all this, is by having a lighthearted attitude. Like, this is life. Life happens. And we realize that. We know that, right? And once we are okay with that and we can embrace that, then things don't get to us as bad. Things don't shake your world up as much. But we've been training for this. We've been preparing for this. You have the tools to make it through this, because this is something that's like setting the foundation. We're pouring the foundation for the next 20 years right now. And I want you to keep that in mind. We've been doing it for like a year or two now. Just, we've been clearing that space out. Like, we're clearing the ground out. We're evening it, leveling it all out. Well, now we're pouring the foundation. I don't build houses, so I'm sure I missed a few steps, but we're pouring the foundation now, is my point. And how do you want that foundation to hold up the rest of your, two more decades, your next 2 decades? How would you like them to go? If you're reacting to this chaos with chaos, or if you're letting it shake you and shake you off your path, shake your energy up, get you in a mood, overwhelm you, and you allow it to continue. That's how your next few years are going to be. Do you really want to be in chaos for 2 decades? Probably not. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to re-record this because I'm shaking so much. Stop it, Angela. Yes, I'm in my bathroom. I'm hiding because it's literally the only place I can go without being interrupted. I'm not even playing. So, we've got tools. You've got tools. You're special. You're needed. And, it's so important that you take care of yourself, your mental state at this point in time, because you're needed. You're needed. What you have to offer is special. It's unique. And only you can offer the world that. So it's very important that you've got your head together and you take advantage of the tools that have been given to you. Listen to the isochronic tones, the binaural beats, the brainwave entertainment, and research it. Like, look into, try it out, experiment with it, see what makes you feel at ease, what just makes you feel good. Keep it on in the background music all the time. It doesn't have to be loud. It can be, just barely noticeable, right? And just keep that on in the background. When, everybody's home, I keep it on in my home, and it helps. I've got 5 teenagers, and to keep the peace, it helps so much. It really, really does. Aromatherapy, just having lavender and stuff like that in my home truly, truly help. The Palo Santo truly helps. It is about clearing out the energy, because when we're talking about like ions, when it comes down to it, positive and negative ions. And I know it sounds so backwards, but when you are doing something like saging or, doing the Palo Santo, like just a good cleanse, a smoking cleanse, is you're offsetting. The sage actually offsets and puts the negative ions back in the air, and helps get rid of the positive ions in the air, which positive ions are not what you want. You want the negative ions. I'm not a scientist. Don't ask a biologist. I don't know. So I do know that much. I can't explain it any further. But I know that, there is an actual scientific, you can actually look at it from a scientific view. It's not just a woo-woo, like, oh, we're into saging and Palo Santo. No, there's an actual energetic effect to that stuff, So use your tools. You are brilliant. You're beautiful. And this world has been designed over the last 100 years or so, 200 years. It's not natural at all. What is going on? The system is not natural. And this system is designed to unnaturally keep your energy down, to take your energy down. And that's not how you're designed. You're not designed to have your energy constantly mucked with. But here, all the frequencies that go through the air, because of my brain damage, I'm epileptic, I have seizures and all that, and because of that, I'm very sensitive to frequencies. I'm not triggered by light. I mean, if you put a strobing light in front of me enough, I'm sure eventually, but I'm truly triggered by sounds. And what it is like different echoes, different tones. And I've worked very hard on, being able to tolerate like the isochronic tones and certain tones and whatnot. But the frequencies, I'm so sensitive to them. I always have been, but even more so now than I used to be. And these frequencies, you could just, I can just feel it. And it's getting to the point where like my husband can feel it, my kids can feel it. Like we go from point A to point B, and you can literally, like, out in the country, right? There's not a whole bunch of towers and whatnot. And all of a sudden, everybody just kind of gets tense and just angry or just overwhelmed. And all of a sudden, it's like everything's too much. All of us being in one vehicle or whatnot, big family. And then we all realize like we're going through a certain zone, like a certain area that just happens to be full of these frequencies coming off of different towers, and just not any one specific, like 5G. It's nothing like that. It is, that adds to it is my point, but it's not solely just that. We have been imprisoned energetically. If our energy was not being hit so hard with all this stuff that is around us, we would be living completely different. We'd be healthy. We wouldn't be fighting these stupid wars, and we would not be so easily fooled. One thing I also want you guys to think about is, with all the stuff going on out there, division, we're not going to get anywhere with the division, the fighting, the different groups. It's great to find your tribe, but that doesn't mean that the other tribes are less than or wrong, right? there needs to be an amount of toleration and acceptance in one another to be able to work together to take the system down. I don't know. It's not about taking the system down. It's more about changing and tweaking the things that don't work. There's plenty that does not work with this system, and we all know it. Like the healthcare system, like you are going in, and they're not helping you. They're making you a client. I've been going to doctors for the same thing for over 15 years, with the same damn complaint for 15 years. And to this day, I've had surgeries, I've had this, I've had that, but yet I'm still swelling up my whole entire body. And I don't mean just a little bit of swelling. I mean, like, on record, 18 pounds overnight. 18 pounds overnight. Like, I'm not even joking. So, you know, I'm a client. They made me a client. They said, here's a bottle of pills, and we'll see you in a few weeks, you know, and that's the way it's treated. That's the way it goes. And if you look up the side effects of taking some of these medications that are handed out left and right, I mean, doing my readings, you know, you get very personal with some, and the medications that other people, many, I would say 80% of the people I have done readings for are on the same medications that I've been put on for my seizures and for my nerve issues, because I've got a bunch of nerve damage because of it and stuff. And the long-term effect of some of that stuff is horrible. Like, that's not what you do for society when you care about them. It isn't. And that's something that needs to be fixed with all natural, you know, with what the earth has to offer. And yes, science is great, you know, but not at the cost of destroying, you know, the well-being of someone's life, of humans' lives, and or of our natural world around us. You know, how many people are out there using Roundup, killing dandelions, when in actuality, dandelions are going to lower your cholesterol. Make some chips out of them. They're so great. You clean them, you wash them, you dry them, you bread them, put a little season on there, and just deep fry them real quick. It's so good. I know it kind of contradicts each other with like the health benefit and then frying it, but there's so many ways. Baking it and just eating them washed up, and they're so good. They're good for your cholesterol. They're good for your blood pressure. There's so many things that dandelions are good for. Yet Roundup has been sold everywhere around the United States. I'm not sure about outside, but you know, how many people were, it's that brainwashing of, oh, make your yard perfect and green, and that's just another weed, and there's nothing beneficial of it. It just, you know, kills your grass and it spreads. And so they literally talk you into making you think you're doing something good by using this product or doing whatever it is, when in actuality, it's actually harmful. There's so many things like that. It's our whole world around us. The system is full of flaws. So we need to fix it. We have to set our differences aside. And I put this message out there. I've been trying to put the message out there. Every time I put a message out there about the division and needing to set differences aside so that we can accomplish one goal, that is, you know, bettering everything, you know, just making the world a better place, a healthier place for us all to live in, for not having toxic chemicals that are killing us in our food. You know, it's getting to be such a challenge to purchase food that isn't toxic in one way or another. A year ago, 2 years ago, that would have been, you know, more of an excuse than not. But these days, it's getting so difficult to find products that are actually good for you without any kind of chemicals. And even then, you're looking at stuff that's been growing and you're finding parasites and horrible shit in it. Not that I have personally. I shouldn't be on the internet because the stuff just freaks me out sometimes. My point is that we are up against a group, an entity, a very dark energy that has studied the human psyche for longer than I've been alive. It just turned 43 last Friday. So if I studied something for 3 years, I'd be pretty good at it. If I studied the human psyche for 5 years, I'd know quite a bit. If I studied the human psyche with unlimited budgeting and I could do whatever I want because I have no morals, not me personally, but the people that actually did this, I would know quite a bit, especially after 5 decades, 6 decades, 7 decades of the most insane studies done on humans and the psychology of how our brain works. So they know how to get the reaction and the response they want. It's that simple. They will go to any lengths. They will say whatever they need to say. And it's not about sides. Okay? It's an illusion to think that we have sides. That's an illusion. That's not real. There's no choice. It's A or B. Okay, well, what if you don't agree with A or B? And what if A and B are actually on the same team and we're seeing ourselves out? So if they're on the same team, if everybody, could you imagine if all these presidents were just working together, all these government folks were just working together? Like, how are we going to divide them? Well, you play that side, I'll play this side. It's that easy. It's literally that easy. And they come out and they start making something a trend. People are so worried to offend that they don't actually speak what is on their mind or the truth. And now people are getting in trouble for speaking what's on their mind. I don't know exactly what I'm going to accomplish. Each and every one of you, there are 264 of you right now. We've got to do something. I know it's going to be okay. And I know something will be done. But in the meanwhile, the message just has to be, we've got to have these conversations with each other. That we got to stop judging. If people want to judge, put your judgment on the system that's killing us. We're a joke to them. And we've got to come together and be one huge high vibrational entity against another. That's what it is. We will all, when we come together and we lose that division, we become one. And they stand no chance. If we speak up, look at France right now. And then you look at areas with the lack of speaking up. And you see crime. You see things that are things that are happening that should not happen. Violence and destruction and it's about time we get mad. It's about time we get pissed off. Because what's going on around us is not okay. Spirit made us strong for a reason. Spirit brought all of us together for a reason. Spirit woke us all up for a reason. Spirit took us out of human mode and woke our asses up and said, pay attention. Pay attention. Because we're here as the light workers. We're here as the light warriors to protect and change so that the generations that come after us have a beautiful life. And I do believe that if we start doing something now, that we'll all see that change. We will all see a piece of that world, that beautiful world that we were meant to be in, the life we were meant to live. I do predict plenty of truth coming out. There's going to be chaos like no other, and there is Pluto coming through, the sun hitting Pluto, squaring Pluto. The truth will come out on many different topics. There's nowhere for these secrets, these lies, this manipulation to hide anymore. Pay attention. And all I'm asking of you guys, because, the question I get from my family members and people around me is, okay, so what do you do about it? You speak up. You speak up. You be aware. Just you alone being aware is more than it's been. Even if we're just aware of it, because then we're making different decisions, we're moving differently, we're speaking differently, we're making different decisions, better decisions, more aware and conscious decisions. And it's not going to be a huge change overnight. Pluto moves slowly, but it's changing. The world is changing, and we have an opportunity right in front of us to help direct where that goes, to help lay the foundation for what's coming. So please, open your eyes, open your heart. Open your heart. Smile at somebody when you go out. If you go to the grocery store, ask them how their day is. Just give them an extra smile. Be nice. I see so many people being so mean to one another just because there's so much frustration and anger within us because we've been betrayed. We have been betrayed by the world that was supposed to protect us. Not Mother Nature, not Gaia. The system was supposed to protect us, and it has let us down all over the world. So people are angry. People are hurt. People are betrayed. And they're taking it out on each other, which is the reaction they wanted. We're giving them the reaction they wanted, right? And not necessarily you or I, but they're getting the reaction they wanted. Division. We were moving in the right direction a couple years ago. We were, sharing our traditions, our cultures. We were educating and informing one another. We were helping one another out. We weren't judging so much. Everybody was entitled to just be. And now it's like they're trying to take the right for you to be away. And you'll no longer be able to be you. At this point in time, it's like I can't even say certain words on here. I mean, I can, but then my video doesn't even get shown to anybody. Or it gets a copyright for no reason when there's not even music. It's happened. I say one wrong word, which is difficult for me because I really have no filter. I really don't have a filter. I've learned to have a filter somewhat through having this channel and my other channel, but that's just crazy to me because on my TikTok channel I've got like 12K, right? And I really haven't been on there for a while because it got real crazy, so I dipped out for a bit, came back to YouTube. But every time in the past year that I have put a message out of positivity, of just getting along. We don't have to agree with what each other does, or we don't have to approve or what each other's doing, but there has to be a line, there has to be a certain respect, there has to be a certain understanding. We've got to be civil to each other, and if we're on the same side, then who does that put on the other side? The system that we Every time I've put out a message of love, it has tanked. It's tanked. Either it has a bunch of views and not one comment, not one like, or it just doesn't get seen. But if I go and make some video with my just whatever of whatever, some words on a screen and a picture and some music, like no effort, not actually speaking my mind, but just like doing whatever, it's all over the place. My TikTok, on one of my TikToks years ago, that's what started it. So I made a video with my dog and some weird noise, and bam, took off. Yet a message of positivity, nobody wants that right now. And I get it, because we're, there's anger, there's betrayal, there's that feeling of being betrayed. I've been cheated on by the person I love the most, and it was, I've never experienced a feeling like that. So I understand. It's like we're supposed to trust the government. There's many people out there that actually trust their doctors, trust the government, trust this, trust that, trust the system that, that we is ours, whatever. And it's gotta hurt. It's gotta be a deep betrayal, being betrayed, or played, or whatever. It hurts and causes a person to be angry and do things that they wouldn't normally do. Brings out an ugly side in people. And right now, it's like society was just cheated on by their own government, by their own system. They just found out that they've been being cheated on and played their entire life. It's a rude awakening. Or as David Palmer, Leo King, shattered reality. And he nailed it with that one. Definitely, for many, their reality shattered. So while you're picking up the pieces of your reality, I understand you don't want somebody being like, oh, just have a good day, everybody get along. I get it. We're angry. But we can't stay divided. Yeah, see, this is Angie not being able to take a shower. I brushed my hair, but I was outside. It's so windy. Oh my gosh. Oh. My point is that we got to start working together, and we got to start getting along. And it's not about, to me, I'm not on here I'm not on here to be a showman. I'm literally on here just to spread the message and to help those that need help, those that feel alone, or those that need direction, or those that want to connect to spirit and are having trouble. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I'm here for you. But I can't just sit back anymore and watch the world take itself down. We're taking ourselves down. So get along, y'all. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna post this. This is a really long video of me just ranting. Okay. Well, I love y'all. And I'll be back. Much love, you guys. Get along. And for real, you've got the tools. You've got this. We've got this. Shit's about to pop off. We all feel it. We all know the earth is about to shake. FYI, the earth is about to shake. So find your grounding. Find your foundation. And if you can't, then just hold tight. Or just, go for a ride. Ride the waves, baby. Ride the waves. Much love.